Well, hello. I know it's been a long time since I've been on this video, but I've been a little under the weather. I'm a little bit better now. So much stuff has happened since the last time we did this cold walk and talk. But we gonna talk some more. You know, I want to talk about the domestic violence. I want to talk about that. And I want you to get in with me when I talk about that, because you know what? It's somebody that is in some form of domestic violence. You got domestic violence where they put their hands on you. You got domestic violence where they do the mind thing. You got the control thing. You got the verbal abuse. You got the mental abuse. You know, they play with your self-esteem, and it ain't just women. It's men, but majority of it is women that experience domestic abuse. Now, used to be a time when people say this back in the day. I remember when back here in the 50s and 60s. No, I wasn't born, but I did my research. Whereas a man could beat on his wife because she was considered his property, that was his wife. A lot of women died and been victimized. And some of them now are great-grandmothers. They're in their 70s and 80s, and they had to experience domestic abuse, and they didn't have nowhere to go. See, they didn't have shelters and resources like they did supposed to have, like now. But now they do. Well, in part, they used to. See, the Trump administration kind of cut some of that out. And and you got some of these folks, that's why we were so happy that Ephraim Bean was going to win the Democratic Party, because some of the funding, if we flip Tennessee and we flip the House and the Senate blue, we might have a chance. We got a chance of correcting this damage, not all of it, but some of it. See, I'm going through something right now. I trying to find my purpose in life, and I came across somebody. Oh, on the outside, these men now becoming pimps. They not boyfriends, they pimps. See, back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, they used to meet a girl and tell her they love her and show her some little love and everything, and did the little ooh, and then turn around and then, put on some drugs, and the drugs was the connection between her and him, and she didn't go. They put fear into her to make her work that corner. They put fear in her. She was scared to leave because if she left, something was going to happen to her. But she couldn't leave because he had the control factor, which was the drugs. Oh, now the pimping got so smart. He ain't got smart in this game. And I hope it's one particular pimp that I'm talking to. So anyway, the new pimps now, they don't do that. No, that's too costly. So what they do is they find a woman, they love her, and put a baby in her. See, a baby is more connected than drugs. See, because you can get off of drugs, but you can't get rid of a baby like that. No, and you keep that baby, and he stay around, and you see all these women getting jobs. They getting jobs taking care of their man, and he messing with somebody else, and now the new pimp, he keep her working. He make her work, because if she work, she know where he at. Now these pimps now, they putting things in their name, just like a pimp in the 70s. They put things in their name so that, if you leave, they'll cut your phone off. If you leave, they are not, you're not on the lease. If you leave, you can't leave. Where would you not go? Because he took away your family and friends. Anybody you think you getting close to, he starts to intervene. See, I ain't met a pimp in a long time. And I was 17 when I met a pimp. No, I wasn't, No, it was one of my family members. And I beat his ass at her funeral. Yeah, buddy. Baby, back in the day, Miss Samantha wasn't shit nice. I tell you, I wasn't that nice. I still got a little rough edges on me, but oh my goodness, Samantha wasn't nothing to play with. Now more dangerous than ever because you know what? I don't use my fists no more because they got gout in them and arthritis. Oh, no. I use the pen and the paper. Now, man, you know what? And I met this wonderful girl. I met her. And, I don't get in people's business. I really don't. I try not to get in people's business. One thing about being illegal, you can spot stuff. In social services, you can spot it. You can see it. But you don't say nothing because you don't know how that person going to receive it. Everybody don't receive what you say right. And then on top of that, you don't know how deep her mind is about that pimp that she got. They call them, they got new names for them now. They call them boyfriend, my man, my boo thing. See, I learned a long time ago, you don't let no man put every damn thing in your name, in his name. No. If he buying you a car, he give you the down payment. He don't co-sign a shit like that. I don't care how bad your credit is. Credit bad, and they ask for a large deposit. He come up with that large deposit, or he come up with some of it. You don't let him drive your car. If he paying insurance, you don't let him drive. You let him use it every now and then, but you don't let him drive it. Always keep you a spare credit card. I always keep that credit card. Keep your credit up so, if you have to bounce, you got a credit card. You can go and do that. Everybody say, go to a shelter when you need it. But see, now shelters are filled because the budget has been cut because of Trump. So telling somebody to go to a shelter now is just like telling somebody to go be homeless. So now that woman got to be afraid, broke, or afraid, and no resources, and she out here with a kid. If anything, that's going to make her want to stay because of a kid. See, men know that children make you do things that you don't want to do. Make you stay on jobs you would have walked away. You would have told them to kiss your tail and walk away. I went to the police department here. And it was closed because of mold. Then I called the dispatch, non-emergency dispatch. She trying to tell me some stuff. You need to have her to do a report so we can come out here and investigate. And where you gonna be at when y'all leave? See, people don't think about that. Where you gonna be when the police leave? Next time they come, she may not be allowed to tell what he did to her then. See, they got to be calculated when you getting ready to leave somebody. Because, these phones now, you can track them, especially these iPhones, and they got eye tags and stuff like that. They want to know where you at. I had a guy long time ago. I was 20 years old, 19, 20, staying in my house. And I met this guy, and I didn't mesh with him. And this mofo gonna call me 2:30 in the morning, and he was drunk and talking about, you know what? I don't appreciate you breaking up with me. I never dated you. I'ma come over there and whoop your ass. So okay, you come right on. You make sure you call the funeral home on your way over there. You make arrangements. He thought I was playing. I'm in front of your house. You are. I said, I didn't know how you know where I'm at. I followed you home. Okay, I tell you what. I'm going to open up the door. You come right on in. I kept the lights off. Called the police. But before the police got there, when he walked through that door, I had a butcher knife as long as I put it up to his neck, and I said, okay, motherfucker, I told you. Did you make your funeral arrangements? You crazy. No, I ain't crazy. I told you you violating me. You got me fucked up with some other woman. Get the fuck off my property. And the next time you come back, you better come back with an army. I never saw that guy again. I think he left Memphis. I think he did. But anyway, so, I don't get on. I try to keep my little life different because, you don't want to. But this young woman, she didn't have to tell me. I saw it. And then she told me. Oh, she told me. First, I was like, okay, maybe she just telling me that to tell me that. I ain't finna be superhero. Then, she started telling me more stuff. She started telling me he want her to go, but he don't want her to know. He don't want her. You know that old saying, I want you to get out, but then when you try to get out, they go to trying to sabotage that too. They don't want you to know. She ain't got no friends here and stuff. So, I try to keep my distance, but, I talk to her, on the job. I talked to her about things. Well, see, Monday I took her to the doctor because her car broke down. And he was tracking her phone. And her phone just beep-a, 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 beep-a. I said, damn, it must be is that a new song? I never heard of that one before. She didn't say nothing. But she laid her phone down and I saw some of the messages because she was dealing with the baby. Lord have mercy. I know you with that lady. I told you don't get nobody involved. If you do, it's going to be your fault and you going to pay for it. Okay, all right. So I said, okay. So I took it back to the store. I said, no, I don't want to put you in the front. I'm going to take you to the back because, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. Then all of a sudden, he must have saw us or she went back or something. He looked at the cameras at the building. You tell her I don't want her at that store anymore. So I got fired. I said, wow, damn, that's petty as motherfucker. How do I get, now, I can do the conventional thing. I can go up there and clown, but it wasn't it wasn't like that. Or I can go, I can do some, or I can get petty with his ass, legally. And that's what I'm doing. But here's the point, though. I got to think about her. So this is where it's coming in. It's Christmas. And I know y'all got Christmas stuff. I know y'all got Christmas toys and y'all got things y'all got to buy. Some of y'all are even struggling. But I'm asking y'all, if y'all could chip in at something, I don't care if it's $1, chip in. Because what she's about to do is she's finna go to a new life. And I remember when I moved to Chattanooga and I told some people I was moving and how they just showed up and showed out. She's starting over. And that's a hard thing. And right about now, there's not the resources that would be there like it was if this was happening. They're on a tight budget. Shelters are filled. And most men do stuff around the holidays. Most people commit around the holidays. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been dealing with my own situation and stuff. And, I haven't worked. And I did get approved for disability. I did. I'm so happy because, I have my own medical things to worry about. But you know what? And she ain't, and the part about it is that people think that, a black person got to help a black person. No, that's not it. That's not it. But, the biggest thing is that, we don't protect our daughters. We don't. in this Trump administration with this pedophile stuff going on, you know, it shows that our daughters have not been protected, that they have been laid to the wayside. And instead of us saying, we looking at, oh my goodness, this girl got all these babies, we not looking at the fact that, you know what, the pimp has changed his game. Instead of using drugs, he using children. You know, I've been there when, you know, when a woman tells me that she rather give the child to the man and oof herself off so she can be free. You know, I have to intervene. I have to intervene. That could be my daughter, my niece, my grandbabies, you know. And I've been praying on it and thinking on it, and I have reached out to every resource I think I can, but there's not really no money there. It's very limited because of what Trump has done. Very limited. See, people weren't thinking. They wasn't thinking that when they was talking about cut the fat, when Doge was sitting up here cutting all these programs and SNAP and all of that, they wasn't thinking that it would affect them. And in Tennessee, we had a chance to make one county blue, one district blue, and we failed it. But that's another story. But right now, just like with the SNAP benefits, we still gotta protect each other. We still got to protect each other. We got to teach our children, our girls, that you know what, look, you don't look for love. These men are not looking for love. They looking for prey. They looking for a victim. They not looking for love. And the sad part about it is that they think that the man may not love them, but they love the child. No, they don't. No, they don't. Look at I'm going to tell you something. If you see a man and he got a whole bunch of baby mamas and he ain't taking care of not one of them, he don't give a damn about none of them. Please do not think that yours is an exception to the rule. But we got to empower them. You know, it's like it's something wrong with being by yourself, that you got to have a man. No, you don't. Not when you broken. A broken person getting with a predator is we got to teach our girls. Don't matter if they black or white or Hispanic, whatever, they brown, we got to teach them that. We got to show them the way we will learn that, you know what, you can be independent. It's okay. We got these women on social media that's dressing like hot thoughts, looking for somebody, with a man with some money to take care of them, to get their nails done, no, baby, that's what a hoe does. See, a real woman, if she gonna get with a man with some money, she gonna want something to put aside, to invest in for a rainy day. So when she have to bounce or whatever she got to do, she gonna make a path for her own self. She ain't gonna go out here and be buying all this expensive hair and getting her nails done and buying designer stuff that she has no investment in. No investment. You know, no. You know, because I was raised up by a single mama. I sure was. No, I co-sign on your car. No, you give me the money. You give me the money. You give me what it's going to take. You don't no, you ain't finna, He don't want to put your name on the house. You get a will done. You get some insurance on him. You do something. But don't sit there and think that, you know what, oh, well, you know what, if anything happened to him, no. Don't sit there and think that because y'all got a baby together, that you know what, that he gonna clown with you when that baby. No, he ain't. Because if he ain't taking care of the other three or the other two, he ain't gonna take care of yours. You just another victim in the thing. Am I gonna make this happen? Yeah, I am. I really am. But, you know, the sad part about it is that, you know what, this is becoming common, and so many people have thought that, you know what, when you talk about cutting government, our government pays for a whole bunch of things, seen and unseen. And we think that because, you know what, because there's a shelter down the street, that she could go there, that there's a resource, that is a name, a nonprofit, that is functioning at full capacity. When we got to realize something, that just because you don't need it, I always say this. See, when they was cutting the budget and everybody was saying, you know what, they looking at all of this, just because you don't need it, don't mean that it shouldn't be existing. Yeah. But that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to go ahead and leave a little link down there if y'all want to help. If not, you know, I'm coming back, and I hope, you know, go to my second channel. You see, I'm trying to work things out on this. Help me out there. Don't just leave me hanging. Y'all, have a good weekend. And it's cold as heck here.